Hey y'all, we are back with another dense update. Here we go. Well, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way since it's all the buzz and everyone's talking about it. Former CrossFit Games individual athlete and most recently CrossFit Games team athlete, Chandler Smith, posted this to his Instagram story. What's the point in having a voice if it gets stuck inside your throat? Today I'm using my voice and following it up with action. I will not be competing in the 2025 CrossFit Games season. Now, for many, this probably doesn't come as a surprise. After Rogue Invitational, he posted to his Instagram a series of pictures from him at the CrossFit Games, and the caption just said, "Not stopping, just turning." So I think we kind of all took that as, yeah, I'm not competing in CrossFit anymore, but I'm going to go do WFP. I think I kind of would have rathered the video format like Annie. I like that he says CrossFit has been a huge force for good in his life and the lives of millions across the world. Yes, very true. There's too much I've experienced, seen, and heard that tells me that the space maybe doesn't value its athletes as much as we value it. If you're going to make these kinds of claims and statements, you better be able to explain them in depth. But nobody does that. You say you want changes, but you don't really say what those changes are. As far as we're concerned, from an outside perspective looking in, we just see that you wanted someone fired again, and it didn't happen. So now you're out. I'm out. Greg sells the company. Okay, cool. I'm back in. The claim of things going on behind the scenes weren't all Greg, or were all Greg, because you were so willing to come crawling right back once he wasn't there. Castro was still there. Boz, the whole entire team, so this time we want Dave fired. And so we didn't get Dave fired, therefore we are out. And then of course, this morning, Patrick Vellner, another one I'm not really surprised based off of the, campaign trail he was on after the games with the PFAA. I've decided not to compete in the 2025 games season. Sometimes the best way to push for change is to take action. And this year I'm taking a stand by voting with my feet. If you would have just come out with one slide that said, hey, I'm not competing in the CrossFit Games season. We wanted Dave fired. We didn't get that. Therefore, I'm out. I mean, that would have been pretty straight to the point, because for you to say that CrossFit's not doing anything and nothing is being heard is a cop-out. They've got the athlete council back. There is a safety council as well with a lot of qualified individuals, but that's not good enough for you. Everything is being done aside from firing Dave. Then you just need to say that, not all this 10-slide word salad. I agree with some of these comments in here. These kinds of posts, this attention seeking, this validation that you need from your fans and followers, this is not good for the sport. This doesn't make us more professional. This isn't moving the sport forward. This is you just removing yourself from the equation. We're okay with that. UFP making the news again this week. The Barbell Spin got his hands on the athlete packet that was distributed via email to all of the signed World Fitness Project athletes. Only the signed athletes were privy to this packet. In this packet was a standardized list of movements that the athletes can expect and train for. The push for this standardizing and has been going on for quite some time. I actually went down a little bit of a rabbit hole on some old podcasts to find out when people started trying to spin this narrative. And there's just a handful of people in this little friend circle that have been trying to make a push for this. Coincidentally, a couple of people who are involved in the WFP. IF3 is doing that. They have a movement library. They started in 2016. Last year, they sold out a stadium that had 1,300 seats and then standing room only on the side. Almost 10 years in, that's the best that they're doing. Saxon Panchak's official role with the WFP is head of community development. Not really sure what that means. I would think that means that trying to get the other divisions to sign up, because you got to have that registration money to make any money. Wodapalooza has something like 3,000 athletes that sign up for that competition. And by the looks of the live stream, there weren't more than 3,000 people there. So did they even really sell any spectator tickets, or was it just all the divisional athletes competing who stayed to watch the elites? One interesting part of the packet: this season marks the beginning of a new era of professional fitness. Okay. Good luck. I wish you the best. And the 25.2 CrossFit Open matchup has been announced. Emily Rolfe will face off against Sydney Wells in Peoria, Arizona at CrossFit Incendia. That live announcement will also be streamed on the CrossFit Games website as well as their YouTube channel. So that just leaves 25.3. And I have no idea where this will be announced, but I did notice that Tia is still in Australia. And maybe the Aussies will get an open announcement this year. Then Royce Dunn put out this video.
Dave, let's be real. CrossFit Turin is the only place to host a 2025 open announcement, and we've got 3 reasons why.
Although I did think it was interesting that Royce put that out because he was one of the athletes on the PFAA that signed the letter demanding Dave be fired. I guess he's changed his mind. Coffee Pods and Wads had another Around the Whiteboard episode with Colton Mertens, Kiefer Lammy, and JY. First question was WFP movement standard list, good thing or bad thing? The second question, should the open announcement focus on camps? This was a good topic of debate. Should CrossFit Games athletes promote the open? That's a no-brainer. I love the show format. It's like a game show. The live chat never disappoints. You can check out that full episode on Coffee Pods and Wads YouTube channel. Rich Froning put out a new podcast this week. They talk a little bit about the WFP, and him and Angelo bring up a really valid point.
No problem.
Well, here's
but
the deal: is
without this,
is WFP going to open up some affiliates? Right? Like, what are you going to point people that are doing?
yeah,
You pointing them to a High Rocks gym?
Yeah.
Rich gets it. You can check that full episode out on the CrossFit Mayhem YouTube channel. Brute Strength put out about a 7-minute video on James Sprague. And y'all, you need to go watch this if you haven't seen it.
But to me, it's like, I never did this sport for the money. I did it just because I love how it makes me feel. So if I can just focus on like, man, this sport just enhances every other part of my life.
It just makes you really, really want to root for James. He's such a good dude. The first 40 seconds of the video and what he's saying is just so powerful. That's how a champion of the CrossFit Games should talk. And it feels so genuine when you hear him say it. Go watch that. You will not be disappointed. And if you're not already a James Sprague fan, that 7 minutes will make you a fan. Andrew Hiller has done it. He has finally made a video on the top open performances of all time. Now, he does state in this video that he just pulls from everything prior to 2020. He makes a really good point. Once they introduced the quarterfinals, the programming for the open completely changed. Before I got to the end of the video, my number one, just off the top of my head, that was 15.1 and 15.2. That matchup was the most anticipated matchup probably in the history of the CrossFit Open.
The Open starts now. 15.1 is...
When Dave got done announcing the first part of that workout and then gets into what 15.1A will be, and the two are eyeballing each other and they're excited and they're pumped, and he says that 15.1A is going to be a 1 rep max clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk. The Open is open.
That for me is top memorable moment of the Open. I won't tell you what his number one was. You'll have to go watch the full video for yourself. I just want to give a quick shout out to my girl, the PT at our gym. This is her shirt, Strong as a Mother. If you are a postpartum mom or soon-to-be mom doing CrossFit, you can go follow Disrupt PT and Wellness on Instagram. A lot of really good content. She is a 8-year CrossFitter and coach at our gym. She also is a doctor of physical therapy. I will put her Instagram handle down in the caption of this video. That is all for this dense update. Be sure to leave us a comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're into that sort of thing, you can head over to my Instagram page where you can follow me there for all the latest happenings in the CrossFit community.